Peace, peace, peace to the church and body of Hamashiach, who the world knows Christ. It's your brother coming back at y'all another video of truth. And shout out to all my other fellow laborers ministering to the saints as well. And in this lesson, I want to touch on martial law. I want to touch on martial law as is written and spoken of in biblical prophecy, right? Because this has always have went down and happened in the ancient world. We read about 70 AD when the Romans besieged Jerusalem. Read about the Assyrians besieging Jerusalem. You hear it a lot of times that different armies and militaries will besiege the cities and towns of Israelites. And we know that history, in order to understand the mystery, you got to understand the history, right? In order to know the mystery, you got to understand the history. So the past can teach you about the future, especially when it comes to the Bible. So a lot of the things that went down in the ancient world is going to come to pass in these upcoming days, these so-called modern times. So martial law is biblical. You'll go in there to prove it in prophecy. This is what the messengers of the Lord of hosts deals with. They occupy in prophecy. You can go to any other so-called religious teachers or people that build their foundation off the Holy Bible. You can't go to them and have these prophecies, parables, wisdom, etc. be broken down to you at a finite level. These people can't expound a prophecy to you, break it down so you can understand it and know what's to come. It's only been given to the true prophets, the servants of the Lord. This is the testimony that we're speaking about. The testimony of Christ is the spirit of prophecy. Only a few have that and can, expound and break it down. That's what the servants of the Lord are supposed to be occupied in, because it's stated in Ecclesiastes 39:1. I'm going to read it. It says, "But he that gives his mind to the law of the Most High, and is occupied in the meditation thereof, will seek out the wisdom of all the ancient and be occupied in prophecies," right? And so this is what the men of the Lord occupy in, prophecy. That's what we're going to occupy in this video, as it's touching martial law. So this is the book of 2 Esdras, chapter 16 and verse 68. This is in the Apocrypha. So it says, "For behold, the burning wrath of a great multitude is kindled over you, and they shall take away certain of you, and feed you, being idle with things offered unto idols." So let's break this down. Let's see what it's talking about. This is a prophecy in the Apocrypha. So it says, the burning wrath of a great multitude. The great multitude is speaking about the martial law troops, the wicked, the devil, right? Which is the so-called white man. And his burning wrath is about to be kindled over a lot of Israelites, as it's stated in Revelation 12:12. The devil is come down unto you having great wrath, because he know that you have but a short time, right? So the burning wrath of great multitude is going to be kindled over Jake. And if you look up, if you read, because scripture tell you it's supposed to be precept upon precept, line upon line, here a little, there a little, right? So in order to understand who that great multitude is, you can read Jeremiah. I think it's the 16th chapter, if I'm not mistaken. Let me grab that real quick. Jeremiah. Speak about the people that's cruel. Alright. It is Jeremiah 6 and verse 22. "Thus saith the Lord, behold, the people come from the north country, and the great nation shall be raised from the sides of the earth." So that's your troops, right? Those are your troops, your martial law troops. It says, they shall lay hold on bow and spear. They are cruel and have no mercy. Their voice roars like the sea. They ride upon horses set in array as men for war against you, O daughter of Zion. See? So bow and spear is symbolic of pistols, assault rifles and shotguns, etc., which is basically your modern day weapons. Because times have changed, things have evolved. They don't use, spears, swords, or bows anymore. Things have changed, right? That's how prophecy works. And only the true, men of the Lord, his servants, the meek, is able to break this down and show you how it applies to this day and age. It says they are cruel and have no mercy. So they're going to be very barbaric, bloodthirsty, evil, wicked men. It's going to be a part of the martial law squadrons and platoons of men, these bands and groups of men, these convoys, right? It says their voice roars like the sea. They ride upon horses, which is your modern day military vehicles, armored vehicles, such as tanks, Humvees, things of that nature. He says, set in array for men of war against thee, O daughter of Zion. So that's what's coming. That's that burning wrath, of a great multitude. There's gonna be some cruel people that come over here. As we go to Ezekiel, let's grab another scripture on this. Ezekiel, chapter 7 and verse 24, it says, wherefore I will bring the worst of the heathen. It goes back to that cruel, how they going to be real cruel and have no mercy. It says, I will bring the worst of the heathen, and they shall possess their houses, and I will also make the pomp of the strong to cease, and their holy places shall be defiled. See? So the Lord says he's going to be the worst of the worst. That's the burning wrath of that great multitude that's going to be kindled over the Israelites. They're going to make war against the Israelites. It says, and they shall take away certain of you. And scriptures says, let me see if I can grab that in the book of, it's Zechariah. I think it's the, Zechariah 14 and verse 2. Let me highlight this. Zechariah 14 and 2. Uno momento. It says, for I will gather all nations against Jerusalem to battle, and the city shall be taken, and the houses rifled, and the women ravished. So the house is going to get shot up, right? And the cities of America and towns of America going to get taken over by martial law troops, and the women going to get RAPED. You got to watch what you say on YouTube. Anyways, it says half of the city shall go forth into captivity. That's what it means when they shall take away certain of you, right? They're going to take away half of the city and put them into FEMA camps. Ship them off, right? Load them up on buses. It says, and the residue of the people shall not be cut off from the city, right? This is going to be a portion of people that end up getting left, which mainly will be women, and old people, little kids, and shit like that. So it says, going back to 2 Esdras 16 and 68, it says, and they shall take away certain of you. We tackled that. It says, and feed you being idle with things offered unto idols. So these jakes and these stream accounts going to be getting fed with bullshit. So going down to verse 69, it says, and they that consent unto them, so those that consent, get down with the white man's program, bow down to his system. It says, they that consent unto them shall be had in derision and in reproach and trodden underfoot. So if you trust in man and make flesh your arm, and if your heart depart from the Lord gonna have you in reproach, derision, and you can get trodden down, right? You have to experience great pain and suffering and death. Verse 70, for there shall be in every place and in the next cities a great insurrection upon those that fear the Lord, which is the Israelites. They're going to rise up against them in battle. It says, they shall be like madmen, sparing none, but still spoiling and destroying those that fear the Lord. See, so they're going to be like madmen, sparing none, which goes back to the Jeremiah 6th chapter about how they're going to be cruel and have no mercy. They're the worst of the heathen, right? Let's go to what it means to be a madman. Let's see what a madman means. It says an extremely, it says a man who is mentally ill. So that's those cruel people, man. They're gonna be real barbaric and bloodthirsty. It says a man who is mentally ill. So these people gonna be possessed with demons, man. You know, they're gonna have unclean spirits on them. They're gonna be, insane. It says extremely foolish or reckless person. They're gonna be reckless when it comes to, life itself, because they're gonna be doing a lot of killing. It says using similes to refer to a person who does something very fast, intensely, or violently. See, they're gonna be real violent with 2/3 of our people, because according to Zechariah 13:8, the Lord said He's gonna cut off 2/3 of our people. And He's gonna do it by way of the so-called white man with his military, with his with the EU troops, when they come over here to try to bring order out of chaos. Because the cities of America are going to descend into lawlessness and civil unrest. And there's going to be a lot of violence and crime here. So they're going to need to get people from another country to try to come over here and settle it. But the thing about it is, the Most High is going to, bring the worst of the worst of the worst over here. And He's going to give them orders, through spirits that was created for vengeance. The spirit that's created for vengeance is going to play on the minds of these martial law troops and turn it to be very, barbaric, right, towards the Israel, towards 2/3 of His people, because they're evil and wicked, right? And the Lord's about to exact vengeance and retribution because of that, and them not repenting and returning back to Him. So it says some synonyms for madman, lunatic, psychotic, psychopath. There's going to be a lot of psychos, lunatics and maniacs, man. Maniacs, psychopaths. It's going to come over here, man. And they're going to get on Jake. I'm just going to tell you what they're going to do. It says, for they shall waste and take away their goods and cast them out of their houses. Right? So they're going to be doing a lot of killing and showing no mercy to even the old people. Old ladies and old men going to get clapped out here. Little kids going to get their heads stomped in. Babies going to die. Women going to die. It's going to be horrible. And they're going to ransack their houses, flip furniture, take away the little food that they got, anything that's of value, which is basically resources for survival, is going to be taken away from them by these troops. And a lot of Israelites going to get cast out their houses, man. Yep. The burning wrath of a great multitude is about to be kindled over a lot of evil and wicked niggas. And this thus saith the Lord, man. Because the Lord is not pleased with a lot of, Israelites, because they rebelling against Him with no shame. Let's go to the book of Jeremiah. Go to the book of Jeremiah. Let's see. Jeremiah chapter 16 and verse 10. So it says, "And it shall come to pass when you shall show this people all these words, and they shall say unto you, wherefore hath the Lord pronounced all this great evil against us?" So why the Most High is doing this? Why the Most High is about to send, these cruel and wicked people over here to kill us and rob us? Well, to kill them and rob them, Ain't no evil gonna happen to him that fear the Lord and trust in the Lord, or and that serve him. It's part of the elect remnant. They gonna be straight. But it's a lot of Israelites that just gonna get trodden underfoot, especially these women out here. These evil, wicked women. These black women. So it says, "Wherefore hath the Lord pronounced all this evil against us? And what is our iniquity? Or what is our sin that we have committed against the Lord our God? Then you shall say unto them, because your fathers have..." This is the reason why the Most High is about to, do all these things that we were just reading in the scriptures. It says, "Because your fathers have forsaken me, said the Lord, and have walked after other gods, and have served them, and have worshipped them, and have forsaken me, and have not kept my law." Yep. It says, "And you have done worse than your fathers." See, there's a lot of Israelites in Christianity. Christianity and the Bible is two different things. Like the rapture, that's not in the Bible, but that's a part of Christian doctrine. Hell, that's not in the Bible, but it's a part of Christian doctrine. God loving everybody, Christ coming and dying for everybody, that's a part of Christian doctrine, but it's not a part of the Bible. We can go on and on. Christianity and the Bible is two different things. And it's a form of idolatry, even though they try to build a foundation off the scriptures. That's nothing but the precepts of men. It's not the truth. And that's facts. Because these pastors, they learn from the seminary schools, and seminary schools is controlled by the so-called white man. It's basically slave doctrine. The information they get taught to you, back when you was on the plantation. The truth ain't in these churches. God ain't in these churches. The Lord don't dwell in temples made with hands. You are the temple of the living God, Israel. You so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. You are the temple of the living God. The Lord is not in these churches, man. The elect make up the church, a spiritual house, spiritual stones. And Christ is the chief cornerstone of that house. It's not a physical brick building, cement, Anyways, that's a form of idolatry. Jehovah's Witness, Catholicism. There's a lot of Methodists and all different types of Catholics. You got Islam, a lot of Israelites worship, Allah, deity as they call it. They don't exist, but I'm just saying. Hinduism, Judaism, Kemet, Egyptology. We can go on and on. Buddhism, you feel me? It's a lot of Israelites that are worshiping these false gods. And how the Most High about to combat that great evil by them forsaking him is by sending the sword, which is the wicked, after them to pursue them and hunt them and destroy them. It says, "And ye have done worse than your fathers. Behold, ye walk every one after the imagination of his evil heart, that they may not hearken unto me." If Jake go about to establish their own right, they do what they want to do. They do what they want to do. Like, they don't want to submit themselves to the righteousness of the Most High. They don't even want to acknowledge. You tell Jake to stop eating pork, they'll get mad and want to fight you. When it comes out the Bible, they say they love the Most High and know him. It's Titus 1:11. For they profess to know the Most High, but in works they deny him, being abominable, disobedient to every good work, reprobate. That's the spirit of Israel, man. A lot of Israelites got that spirit. Hypocritical. And we got to fight not to be hypocritical in those that's actually a part of the truth, you know. But yeah, that's a big reason why, man. It's the reason why. They're following after their own thoughts. The heart is deceitful above all things and desperately wicked. Who can know it? The mind is deceitful. Every way of a man is right in his own eyes, but he that hearken unto counsel is wise. The counsel of who? The Lord, man. If you listen to the counsel of the Lord and conduct yourself accordingly, you wise. But you want to be right in your own eyes. You want to follow your own way. There's a way which seems right unto a man, but the end thereof are the ways of death. So you're simple if you, basically, you trust in yourself when it comes to your conduct, doing what you think is right. Trying to tell Jake, yo, she got a man, bro. Chill out. He's still trying to talk to her. She just told you she got a dude. She got a so-called boyfriend, as he calls him. She got a husband. Jake still try to press the issue, man. Or be like they don't care. Shouldn't have that spirit. And there's many other things, man. There's many other things that a lot of Jakes do wrong. But we all as an unclean thing. All right, because even the faithful of us in the truth, we have, our downfalls. We have our shortcomings when it comes to obedience to the word. But that's why we have to believe in the Son of the Most High. And through faith in his blood, you'll be cleansed and washed from your wickedness, man. But a lot of people reject him too. They'd rather choose the white man version of him, which is not biblical. The Bible tell you how you look in Revelation 1:14 on down. Feet like the fine brass, hair like wool. Fine brass if it's burning in the furnace. He was a very dark-skinned man. Red eyes, glowing red eyes, woolly hair, white woolly hair. He wasn't no white boy, no Edomite, no Caucasian man, no redneck, no pink toes. He wasn't a caveman. He wasn't the devil. He was an Israelite from the tribe of Judah. And that's where our people come from, but they reject him. The vast majority of our people reject him, and they reject his words. It's time to get out of it, the pollution that comes with America. All the stuff we grew up learning here in America, we got to put that off. You got to unlearn and relearn. New wine can't be put in the old bottles. You got to become a new creature. You got to be transformed by the renewing of your mind. You got to convert so the Lord can heal you. Come back to the Lord quickly. Or you're going to be subject to the burning wrath of the great multitude is about to be kindled over a lot of Israelites, man. They cut them off from the land of the living. With that, peace.